I don't know about over there in the States, but like here, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of prayer and penance going on. If this was like, if this was a condition, really, like I think it was our Lord who said it to to Sister Lucia. Like if you don't, stop these abominable crimes, we will be punished. I think he says by war. And
Yeah.
like, is this something? Is this possible? Like, or could we be like on, I don't know, close to like a World War III? Is that something that's what you think is possible?
Well, one of my friends says, when all else fails, they take you to war. But you can see everything is starting to align. The world is starting to align into camps, much like it was before the First World War, sad to say. And it could be, I mean, I suppose we could have a longer conversation. Are the are the wealthy people who really are trying to govern the world, are they willing to let things kind of devolve into a war because that's the only thing they can do right now to keep control and to keep their wealth? Or are events getting out of control? In other words, have they lost control because they've allowed to happen this potential union between China and Russia, maybe India and Brazil, which could only be broken by a war? I think just in the last week, our Secretary of State sent a stern warning to African countries that they can no longer do business with China. Right? That's the kind, and it's in a kind of aggressive language, which was pre World War One language, of if you do business with China, you might be in their camp in the upcoming war, and we can't let that happen.
Yeah.
So you see, at least I think I see, yeah, there are a lot of elements here that even our whole effort to take control of the Ukraine, basically to turn it into a military base against Russia, the tightening of this chokehold on Russia, Russia's Russia and China uniting in a way because they don't see any other option. We're increasing the pressure in Syria. We're increasing our pressure on Iran. The Russia and the Chinese fear that if Syria falls in a way, if Iran falls in a way, well, they know that, well, the next countries to be dissolved are Russia and China, right? So they, at some point, as nations, they say, well, we can't let it go any further than this. And also, at some point, I mean, at some point, from the Anglo-American standpoint, if our society, and this goes back historically to the ancient world, this mentality, if our societies are dissolving into potential civil war, well, how do you avert internal domestic chaos? You create an external enemy that, number one, you can send various factions who potentially could be the source of internal chaos. You can send them to die in the war, right? But number two, war always unites warring factions at home to oppose enemy abroad. I mean, from a kind of sophistical standpoint, going back to the ancient world. So I think we do see there are elements of, sad to say, of the world starting to align in camps that are evocative of many of the circumstances leading up to the First World War.
Wow, that's very interesting.
Only in this case, the propaganda in Western countries is not to turn Germany in the bad guy. Russia is playing the role of Germany, right? The Russian bear, Putin, comparing Putin to Hitler, calling Putin a killer, right? That's all very similar to the anti-German propaganda in the run up to the First World War.